open like a window, no window, look at the video, say yourself that could have been you.
Because they're like, Sanya On-Air. And everybody on the East Coast calls me Don. I'm like, what is Don?
My mom thought I was on Long Island, but I was at Howard Homecoming. Turn it up.
Let's go. Welcome, everyone. You are now tuned into another amazing edition of Sanya On-Air. I'm your host, SanyaHudson Payne. And how do I start off each and every single show? You guessed it, I have another great show for you. Before I tell you who today's guest is, do me a quick favor. I need to make sure that you are subscribed to every Sanya On-Air streaming platform. Sanya On-Air streams across every major streaming platform. If you're watching this on YouTube, not only subscribe, but make sure you hit the little notification bell. It's a little bell. What that means is every time I upload an all-new Sanya On-Air celebrity interview, you'll be the first ones to know. You'll be the first ones to know, okay? Sanya On-Air streams across, let's say, Buzzsprout, Stitcher, Amazon Podcast, Google Podcast, iTunes, Pandora. You can even talk to Alexa. Cooking dinner, you can say, Alexa, play Sanya On-Air, and Alexa will be so obedient and play Sanya On-Air for you. So make sure that you subscribe. Leave me a comment too. Make sure you like, make sure that you share. As a Black woman in media doing this podcasting thing, we want to make sure that we continue to lead this narrative of creating dope content. Okay, so make sure that you subscribe, like, share, leave a comment. So today's guest, I'm super excited to bring her into the Sanya On-Air studio. Now, if you were like me in the late 80s, and the 90s, no matter what you were doing, on Thursday nights, you stopped everything. The world stopped, okay? And you raced home, turned on the television to watch a different world. So joining us in just a few short moments, I have the super talented actress, Charnelle Brown. Now, a lot of you don't know these celebrities by their actual birth names. You just know them by the characters they portray on television and movies. She played Kimberly Reese on A Different World. Kimberly Reese. Oh my gosh. She did so much for the culture on that show. That was a time when we didn't see too many dark-skinned women on television. And when she came onto our television screens and explored so many topics that were considered taboo, especially coming from a dark-skinned girl. Remember, in those times, and even sometimes now, anything that may be a hard topic of discussion, they want to make it more palatable. So they may get someone of a lighter skin complexion to disseminate the information. Or they may even get a white person to disseminate the information. But Charnelle Brown, she delivered so many teachable moments on A Different World that it was just iconic. It was so iconic in those times. When I was a teenager growing up watching A Different World, like I said, every Thursday, I would stop whatever I was doing to tune into A Different World. Now as a grown woman, Monday through Friday, whenever I'm getting dressed for the day early in the morning, so from 6:30 till about 7:45, I'm tuned into A Different World. Shout out to Verizon Cable. Even though you're expensive, I love that you have great shows like A Different World in syndication so that other generations who came after my generation, they're watching. I have a daughter who's in her 20s and she is well-versed in A Different World. It speaks volumes to the magnitude of this show. Don't know why it ended. So Charnelle will hopefully tell us why the show ended and if there will be a possible reboot. Who knows? I think we'll welcome a reboot of A Different World. Maybe they can explore, their children, or they could explore life after Hillman College. How being a college grad helped them land successfully or not successfully as an adult. The storyline needs to continue. So Charnele Brown, aka Kimberly Reese, will join us in just a few short moments. Let me ask you again, make sure that you subscribe to every Sanya On-Air streaming platform. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to do an entertainment review. As you know, I've been watching, well, you don't know, but if you follow me on social media, my Instagram and also on TikTok, I like to call it Tickety Talk. I'm always doing an entertainment review on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis. I'm always looking for something great to watch on television, on streaming platforms, a reason to go to the movies. For me, it's work, because as a woman in media and entertainment, I want to make sure that I am directing you to the right places. So let's just jump right on into my latest entertainment review. This is Sanya On-Air. Recently, a new show launched on Hulu, and it is called Unprisoned. I didn't know what this show was about. I didn't really do too much research, but when I see Kerry Washington as the executive producer and the star of the show, I know it's going to be dope. I know it's going to be something quality. I know it's going to be something responsible. I know it's going to give me everything that I need in dope content, and it did not fail. So Unprisoned explores Kerry Washington's character and her father, played by Delroy Lindo. Remember Delroy Lindo? He will forever be the father in Crooklyn to me. Okay. So Delroy Lindo plays Kerry Washington's father. He's recently released from prison. He's like a habitual prisoner. And how does his daughter deal with her father now that he's home, trying to get full-time employment? The love of his life is a white woman who raised her from the age of 8 to 18, but it wasn't a good upbringing. And she has so much animosity, so much residue against this woman. Although she was in foster care with a white woman, another white woman, she's given the foster care mother all the accolades for raising her, right. But then Delroy Lindo's girlfriend, who raised her for 10 years, is looking at her like, but you spent the majority of your childhood with me. Why aren't you giving me the accolades and the love? I love it, love it, love it. So it is must-see TV. But one thing that really resonated with me, the way Delroy Lindo character talks to his daughter, played by Kerry Washington. I've never heard dialogue like this, just raw, unapologetic. So Kerry Washington's character, she's dating a white guy. Now that I talk about it, it's a lot of white presence in this show. But okay, that's another topic, child. So she's dating this white guy who is telling her that he is en route to be divorced. She didn't fell for it. How many times have we seen and heard the same story about a man telling a woman that he's about to get divorced? No, he ain't. No, he is not at all. So the father finds out, or he witnesses his daughter just doing too much and not getting the attention in return from this married man. So he sits her down and he gives her a life lesson that I encourage all of you men to tell your daughters. The message is, wait for it. Wait for it. The message is, that's a message too. Wait for it. Wait before you open your legs. But that's not the message that Delroy Lindo told his daughter, played by Kerry Washington. He said, you are nobody's side piece. You're the main bitch. Let me repeat. You ain't nobody's side piece. You the main bitch. If that ain't a word, I felt like passing around a collection plate, okay? And telling the gay choir director to bang on that tambourine and to stroke on that piano and play a hymn, because that was a word, okay? I felt like tithing. I really did. But it is a super, super amazing series, Unprisoned, on Hulu. Check it out. So welcome back to Sanya On-Air. I hope that you enjoyed my entertainment review. Make sure that you are following me on TikTok, or like I say, the Tickety Talk. I'm also giving podcast tips on my social media. So on Tickety Talk, on Instagram, and on my Facebook. You can find Sanya On-Air. Just type in Sanya On-Air. That's all. That is all. I'm not giving you a secret code that you got to figure out. No. Just type in Sanya On-Air and you will find me across streaming platforms. I'm giving podcast tips. What I am now doing is I've been doing this for a number of years. And because of that, I want to pay it forward. I'm seeing so many people launch podcasts. And I'm like, okay, did you talk to someone about doing this so that you're prepared? And it's always a resounding no. So I'm giving podcast tips to help aspiring podcasters also be successful. So every day I'm posting a different tip. Okay, so make sure that you are following me across social media so that if you are launching a podcast, that you have all of the tools or the resources that you need so that you can be successful, like Sanya On-Air. Okay.
Do you work out on the regular? Fuel your cart goals with Instacart, the go-to service for quick delivery straight to your home. Use the special Sanya On-Air link below.
So why don't we do this? Why don't we just bring in Charnelle Brown, because I can't wait any longer. So without any further ado, Charnelle Brown. Charnelle.
Hey, Sanya, how are you? Yay!
Let me tell you something. I just want to give you your flowers before we start.
Thank you.
Because you have no idea. This is a full circle moment for me. Growing up as a kid, watching you every single Thursday night on A Different World. And as a grown woman, every morning when I'm leaving for work, Monday through Friday, I start my mornings off watching A Different World with my 27-year-old daughter.
Oh, no, thank you for watching. For you guys, we wouldn't be anywhere. So thank you so much for that.
No, well, yes, it is all due to the fans, but you gave us something that has lasted for generations, and that is a true testament of your talent. So S.H.E, continued blessings. I just wanted to start off with that conversation.
That's a good way to start.
So, let's just jump right on into it. So like I mentioned, when I was a kid, every Thursday I would race home to watch A Different World. Even as a grown woman, I do the same thing. You were given a responsibility of being a role model without even being asked to do so.
Exactly.
As a young kid, how did you accept that challenge when you were still developing as a young woman yourself?
Yeah, actually, because I wasn't a kid. I know. I was grown, playing 18 years old.
How old were you?
I was in my going on 30.
See what I'm talking about the good black? You got the good black that don't crack. It may bend a little bit, but it don't crack.
Yeah, I love that. It bends. Yeah, it does bend a little bit. We got to put that in there. You're absolutely right.
Yes.
It's so good. So I was
30?
Yeah, I was like in late, I think it was 28, 29 in that area.
But still a young adult with the weight of the world was looking at you. So still as a young
but you know
adult,
something, we didn't have social media. So we really we weren't affected by opinion. We weren't affected by, people's judgment. We were not affected. We were just gypsies doing our job. We were there to act, and that was it. That's why I thank God that we were not in the age now, because I'd be in jail.
I know you can't say anything. I was taping the opener of the show, and I called someone slow, and I said, "Oh Lord, I can't call nobody slow anymore."
You can't call them slow. They're gonna sue you.
Exactly. But you did have people watching, even though there wasn't social media. In preparing for this conversation with you, I was talking to a friend who I've had a friend since middle school. And she told me that she met you when you were playing Kimberly Reese on A Different World, and she was like, let her know that she was such a genuine soul.
Because I was going to ask, was it okay? You got to ask. I'm like, because if I wasn't right, I was going to say, please relay, I'm sorry.
No,
I wasn't in a good space.
She said you are a very genuine soul. So let's just, assume social media was active when A Different World was in its heyday. How do you think social media would have really affected A Different World?
I think it wouldn't have affected us because we're all theater babies, so we really don't care. But it's just, I think the constant judgment, because with social media, it's like you got these people in the basement. I'm sorry, sue me. That you wouldn't ordinarily talk to anybody. And now you have access to do everything. So I think that it would have been really judgmental, and so I'm glad that we didn't have it. I think I'm so really glad too. Me too.
And I think because you didn't have social media, you just had the opportunity, or the writers of the show had an opportunity to touch on issues that are considered taboo today.
Yeah, and so sad though is we're still dealing with those same issues. 30 years later.
Yes,
something has to give. 30 years later, we're still dealing with the same issues.
Yes. So some of the issues that you addressed, your character Kimberly Reese addressed, was teenage pregnancy, interracial dating.
Yes.
Did you
colorism?
Colorism. We're going to talk about that soon.
Yes.
Did you understand the magnitude of those narratives at that time?
No. I'm going to be very honest. I'm not going to step here and go, well, yes, no. Because I was coming off of Broadway. I was doing Serafina. We were on our way to tour for a couple of years. I was excited. I was geeked. So coming in, I really didn't watch a lot of TV because I was, in theater. So we never watched. We slept during the day and performed at night. And so I really did pay attention to A Different World. And then God said something different. And so before I knew it, I was there. So I was like, okay, what do I do now? Because I've never done TV before. And it's all theater. And so, Jasmine Guy, I call her my princess. She helped me with the 4 cameras. Because Debbie Allen was like, Miss Lane, get it right. I was like, oh God, I'm going to get fired. I'm gone.
But, sometimes we don't get the lesson until later on. So when did you get the lesson that I really, was a part of teachable moments for generations and generations to come? When did it hit you?
I think for me, it was when we were canceled, when we left the show. Because we were so engrossed in it, and being that we're theater babies, we're so, I was Kim. I was Kim for 2 years after that to get out of it. So we were really focused on who we were. We were really real. I was really Kim. She was really, Whitley. We were in it. And so we really didn't, it wasn't all about fame or all about what people think. Our objective was to graduate.
True.
That's it. Get out there and graduate. Yeah. So I didn't realize it until people were like, HBCUs went up a certain percentage. We were like, what? It did what? We had no idea.
But you can also understand the impact of the show, because once the show ended or got canceled, I want to also ask you why, because I'm still stuck.
Yeah.
We saw enrollment in HBCUs decline.
Isn't that interesting?
Very interesting. And I don't understand. I don't think that, content writers or people in entertainment understand that, life imitates art and also vice versa. And we need shows like A Different World.
Yeah.
Has anyone ever approached you about doing a reboot?
Yes. And it's never going to happen.
Why?
Our Corsi Warner was our producers. I think, because I'm learning more and more about what happened. I don't think they really thought that we were going to be successful. So they didn't take us serious. And when we beat out Cosby and we were number 1 and beat out Roseanne and Cheers, it was like, oh, wait a minute. So I think that within their turmoil and politics that they're not going to do it, especially dealing with Bill, they're not going to do it. And so when we don't want them to do it, I don't think that right now they're ready for that, because everything is microwavable right now. And so these kids are into things that I would never. I mean, they would probably call us corny.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because we have to come back with a vengeance. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm in jail. You know,
We gotta have a BBL.
a BBL. You know what I mean? You know, it's just a different time.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't worry. I'm glad that they're not doing it because we want to cherish it.
Yeah.
And it's still on. So we haven't gone, you know, and since, you know, we've been canceled, we're still airing.
Yeah. Yeah. Once again, that just speaks to the magnitude of the writers and the content. But can you share with us, why was the show canceled?
I think it was just our time because our ratings got a little lower, you know, and being that, like I said, that they weren't expecting us to be as successful as we were. And so this was just an opportunity. Oh, you're waiting to know. Yeah.
Wow.
Because it should have gone on and not without us, with our kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, something, you know, and it was pitched to people, you know, but we realized that no, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen.
Wow. You know, that show, what it did for my generation, it really encouraged us to attend college. Like watching A Different World, I just knew that after I graduated from high school, even though my parents was just like, I know where you're going to land next.
Yes.
It was like a no-brainer for me. So once again, I just repeat, you know, we are so sad that the show was canceled. But going back to the topics that were explored, so we talked about a little bit about interracial dating. So in real life, would Charnelle Brown be in an interracial relationship? Is she down with the swirl?
No. I love my black men. Love them to death.
Got you. So
they're my kings. Nah, I don't do, and anybody that wants to do it, I think it's wonderful, but it's just not for me.
I know it's not for me either. I've been struggling in the dating field. I said, I don't know when Black History Month ends, maybe I'll, you know, tap it. But I'm holding on strong, girl. Keep hoping.
Yeah, I would, and nothing taken away from the other races. I just love us.
Me too. I love us with a vengeance.
You too?
Yeah.
Me too. Yeah.
I there's just something magical about us. The resiliency of it all.
We're the bomb. I mean, for us to struggle from slavery and systematic racism and still going in a day, and we're still afloat. Who's more powerful, them or us?
Okay, us.
Us.
Okay. So one topic that you also explored on A Different World was, you know, color issues, color controversy, and you played Mamie. That episode for me, it also rang home because I didn't even realize that there was an issue or nuances between light skin and dark skin.
I didn't either. Oh my God, we're like kindred spirits. I had no idea.
No idea.
So coming into it, everybody, you know, during the reading, everybody was like really uncomfortable. And I'm like, I didn't know it. That's not how I was raised. I saw the figures. I knew about Mamie. What I was taught that Mamie was strength. She had to do what she had to do in order to survive. And she helped a lot of little white children grow up and be incredible people. So when we came into that, and it was like, I had to reflect and I just didn't get it. And Jasmine was so amazing because people don't understand that it's also prejudice toward light-skinned people.
Yeah. So
they get it bad too. So we're a mess.
Yeah.
And so she was telling me about the experiences in her life, and I got it. And I was like, wow. And now I'm in the South. I'm in Houston, and I teach children and little chocolate babies. They're like, you know, you're so confident. I'm like, aren't you?
Yeah.
But once again, it's your raising.
Yes. I work with a lot of youth here in New York, and I was walking into the building just yesterday, and one of the high school students said, Miss Hudson, you walk with such confidence. And I said, because I'm a Black queen, and you have the same DNA.
DNA. Same.
Yeah, so the confidence isn't just limited to me. We were all born with it.
Born with it.
Into it.
That's right.
But you know, I was kind of amazed that when you said that you didn't really understand that there were nuances between light-skinned blacks and dark-skinned blacks because you grew up in East Hampton, correct?
Yeah.
Now, when I hear East Hampton, I'm thinking of the Hamptons.
Yeah.
Rich and white.
And there were some black people there too.
Well, you don't think about, blacks having a presence there. You just think about rich and white. So growing up in that type of environment where you were around a lot of rich white people, even though there were blacks sprinkled here and there.
Yeah, sprinkled. Yeah.
Yeah, sprinkled.
Yeah.
That's kind of surprising to me that you really didn't understand the nuances between light skin and black skin.
No, you know why? Actually, my parents taught me early age that, I was a queen. You're beautiful in your skin. So what I did was in grade school, stuff like that. When I walked in, I commanded attention because I knew who I was at an early age, because it was instilled in me that I am great. I am God's child. I'm great. God made me this color. Honor it, because this is how he made you. And we're perfect in our imperfections. And so growing up that way, we didn't see color. It wasn't a lot of us, but they didn't bother us, and we didn't bother them.
Right.
It was great. Yeah.
Now that you explain it, it really helps me better understand that. And what I thought about was nature versus nurture. What goes on in your household is so important.
So important.
And the foundation has to be so strong, because once you cross that threshold and you enter into the world, you are so strong enough that whatever messages are coming from the outside influences, it
doesn't matter.
Corrupt.
It doesn't matter. And I always tell people, don't, with TikTok and all this social stuff, and they're responding to people. I'm like, if you know your truth, why respond? Yeah. Why are you giving them that power from you?
That's true.
Let them say what they want to say. If it is the truth, if you have to defend it, there's a problem because there's a little gray area there. But if you don't, why? I mean, I've been a lesbian, on the internet. I was married to a white Jewish lawyer. I'm James Brown's daughter. Someone in social media insulted. She was like, "How dare you not, defame, your father's honor, once he died?" I'm like, I'm not even gonna entertain it. I'm not. I'll figure it out on your own.
They called you James Brown daughter?
Yeah, I was James Brown's daughter.
The internet is undefeated.
I think it's funny. It's so funny to me. It's funny to me.
It is. That is like such white noise. You just can't hold any validity to social media. But some people look at social media like it is gospel.
The Bible.
Yes.
It's like the Bible they put the Bible aside. And is that? And I have one more too. This is the funniest one. Somebody had sent it to me. They had lightened my picture. And they were like, why did you do that? Why did you lighten your skin? And one comment I thought was the funniest in the world. He said, you lighten your skin and you're still not working.
No. Okay.
So that was so funny.
That's good. I'm glad that you're able to laugh it off, because not everybody's. Where did you get that strength from where you could just look at those negative comments and laugh it off? You are laughing hysterically.
Oh man. I mean, when I saw that, I hollered. I just I don't know. It's just that they take it and they run with it.
They do.
And I know my skin is the same color. It hasn't changed. I mean, they had brightened me up that I was damn near white. And it scared me.
Wow. But being a melanin queen of a darker hue,
yes.
Have you faced any type of challenges in Hollywood because you are of a darker complexion?
No.
Really?
I think because I don't look for it. It's not in my area. It's not in my perimeter. I don't allow it in at all. So, when people go and you look for it, they're looking at me. I don't know. When I go somewhere, I look at the person I'm with. I don't see anything else. And when you do that, your power they can't take your power. They can't. But I tell you one thing though, before I did Serafina, there were two lovely white ladies, managers. back in the day, and they signed me up, and they told me that my color wasn't in this season.
What?
And I said, when do you think it will be?
Okay.
And they said, well, we don't know, but we'll. And sure enough, Serafina came up, and they were like, oh my God. I said, I guess I'm in season.
You're in season. Wow.
Yeah.
But I get it, because sometimes even with us, there's sometimes just one, and then we have to wait another year or two, and then they let another one in. But this is the first time that I've ever heard, your color just isn't in season.
Yeah, it's not in season. And they didn't know any better. So you have to really think about it. I don't know why we get upset about white people. They don't know any better.
They don't.
And so you cannot take it seriously because they don't know they don't know about our struggle. Why would they? And let's put ourselves in their shoes. Would we care when everything is handed to us? When we have opportunities, would we really care about what everybody else is doing? We don't even care about ourselves sometimes.
Talk about it.
So they don't mean any harm. They don't mean any harm.
So when those moments happen, let's say when a white person just says something that's totally inappropriate that may come across as racist, even though I don't like to put like isms on anything.
Yeah.
Sometimes people's behaviors have implications of those isms.
Oh, sure. I'll tell you one thing. Yeah, I also do. I have to confess. Because I'm not going to sit there and go, oh, I'm stoic. No, when I was 15, I was working at I believe it was an A&P supermarket.
I remember A&P.
You remember those? And then I was almost checking out, and this white woman came up, and she was like, go back to Africa. I don't know what happened to me. I think she still has her handprint on her face. I slapped the crap out of her. It was an instant. I felt so bad. No, I didn't.
I was about to say,
I really did feel bad.
Don't condone violence, but
And then the people, because they were coming out for the summer, they were like, don't let her get to you. I'm like, I quit. I was like, I'm not going through this again because I'm going to kill somebody. Those are the people coming into the Hamptons for the summer, not the people that live there. But we all know each other. The A&P, my mom knows, everybody knows everybody. And so you come in, don't like my dear friend, don't try to handle me. Don't come on my playground and think you take charge. You have a problem.
Right.
You're going to have a problem. Yeah. And she had a problem. But her print, I saw my print. She was a white, like ghost type. I slapped the crap out of her. And I came home, my mom was like, what happened? I'm like, I don't want to talk about it.
You can't be, a Black person living in America and not have a story that's
one story. It was.
Yeah. I was sharing a similar story to my assistant. It was just today too. And I was reminiscing about when I had to visit the Deep South when I was a kid. And there was a boy sitting on top of the roof with his family members. I'll never forget his name. His name was Billy Sheehan. That's how much of an effect it had on me. And he was throwing rocks at me, and he was like, you dark chocolate ice cream.
Thank you.
Now I beat him up on roller skates that night because I knew he wanted to call me a N-word.
There you go. Exactly.
I said, you will not try to polish it up. I knew what you really meant.
Yeah. And this day and age too, that N-word, it has no value unless you want it to, because in the rappers and everybody, it's all in their music. You cannot say their music when they're buying it. And so it's really become common. I don't understand why people really get upset if somebody calls you that. You're not that.
So let's say if someone called you the N-word, would you be okay with that?
Sure. I'm not the N-word. Hurt people.
I need to tap into that because
I'm not the N-word. I mean, for you to call me that, I'm not gonna get it. Why are we giving them power? Who are they? Why are we giving them so much power that one word is going to send you over the edge? I look at it this way. We get them where their pockets are, not what they say.
Yeah, I'm in a few lawsuits right now.
There you go.
Yeah. For that type of treatment from them. So I get that. But let's assume that you heard a group of young boys talking and they were throwing around the N-word. Would you kind of correct them or give them?
No. Because actually, they've already been raised.
Mm.
Nothing I can do about them. Let me have the little ones, you
Mhm.
know, and I would come up to a little one.
Okay.
But teenage, they're already there, and they're, you know, and they're not gonna worry about what I say. They're not gonna really respond, especially with that, because the word is so common. They use it for endearment. You know, there's all you know. It's so funny. This one word has so many meanings, which I think is funny. One word
Yeah.
has all these meanings.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's true. That I had to pause for a moment because I'm just like, yeah, you know, maybe I need to adopt that. Because I was really going to ask you, so what happened to the village? Like, I think we owe it to each other to correct people who look like us.
We do, but this day and age, correcting the village can get you killed.
That's true.
We're in an age where, you know, I mean, if somebody's is hurting somebody, I'm going to call. I'm going to call for help. I'm not going to come in there and go, hey, yeah, wait. I'm not going to. You can't do that anymore because you can get killed. People are just not like they used to be. I mean, and I really believe, you know, because, you know, I'm really a child of God. You know, we're in the last days because I've never seen anything like this in my life where there's no empathy. There's no anything.
Yeah.
So you have to really be careful and really use discernment when you want to help someone. Mm-hmm. You got to really ask God, am I supposed to be getting into this? Because nobody wants help anymore.
That's
and they
true.
don't think they need help. That's
true. I really think you're talking to me because I need to. Because everything that you're doing, I'm not doing. Not doing. Because, you know, I'm really a huge fan of the ancestors who came before me who really fought the fight.
Yes.
The Malcolm X's, the Marcus Garveys,
Martin Luther King.
Yes. And they were unafraid.
Yep.
Of the repercussions. Right. And I don't want us to lose that. I don't want us to be scared or intimidated about stepping in and creating the village to get us back to or stay on the track of Black excellence. So,
but I think that we can still do that, but you have to have that discernment.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, you can still, because I do that when I teach acting. Mm-hmm. It's more than acting. I nurture my students. You know what I mean? So it's a way of doing it without being out there on the streets and hear these boys talk about nigga, excuse me. You know, but you know, and then butting in, you're gonna get your feelings hurt.
That's true. That's true.
Because of how they were raised.
That's true. That's true. But going back to how people were raised off of a different world, a different world gave us so many life lessons. Every time the show ended, we walked away saying, okay, I learned something new. Mm-hmm. Once the show ended, what lessons did A Different World leave you with?
Well, that's a good question. Because we're all gypsies, so I don't, it was a gig for me. Mm-hmm. I really didn't realize the impact, like I said, until we were done. But what I got from it was that I got a family. You know, I got really good people that I work with. I love them. I like them. That's rare today.
Yeah.
If you get it, you know, hold on to it. Back then, it was all about the work. It wasn't about the fame. It wasn't about Prada. It wasn't about Birkin bags. We were just working because that's what we do. We're actors. Right. And that is so lost now. And it saddens me.
Yeah.
That, you know, an actor is right now, we used to be something very special. And now it's just oversaturated and nobody cares about the skill of it at all. It's popularity. Mm-hmm. You know, but I believe that we're going to get back to what it was. Because I think people are getting kind of tired, even though the reality shows, I truly believe, and, you know, people think I'm crazy, that God gives everybody a chance. And if they didn't have those reality shows, what would they be doing? Mm-hmm. And it gave them the opportunity to parlay into businesses. And I'm telling you, reality, don't take that crap serious. They're doing what they do because they're getting paid.
Yes. I call it paid for shade.
Yeah. I love that. And I'm not mad at them. Paid for shade. And they're doing great stuff. They all get businesses and it's wonderful.
Yeah.
It's absolutely wonderful. But I think that eventually that's going to phase out because now it's becoming common. Before it was something special. But now you have all of these, you know, I told one person, the last reality show is going to be Russian roulette.
Imagine. Well, they did have a movie. What was it? Something Gang. It was a Japanese movie. I forgot what it was called, but it was similar to that. Yeah. Would you ever do reality television?
No.
I'm
too private. No, I don't want you in my business. I mean, my thing is, I separate my entertainment and my life are two different things. Yeah.
But it seems as if sometimes the worlds are merging. I know. Shows, reality television. You are having reality personalities auditioning for the same roles as veteran and seasoned actors.
Isn't that weird? And we can't question it because I know God he's doing what he's doing, but it just saddens me. Or if you're gonna do it, get skilled in it.
Yeah.
Like we worked hard. We went to, college, we classes, just to get our craft up so we can present something wonderful. So I believe it's gonna come back. I have hope that people are getting kind of tired. And they want good content. And with all our wonderful African-American women, our directors, our producers, it's phenomenal. So I think that it's going to turn around. I really believe so. Yeah,
I hope so too, because like you said, it is becoming oversaturated.
Yeah.
And people hopefully will get tired of it and go back to, the things that gave us lessons. Yeah, exactly. I hope so. Me too. But going back to a different role, amazing guests. Diane Carroll.
Oh my God. We had Robert Leon, Patti LaBelle. And people don't know. People don't know what Patti LaBelle. I mean, she was like, Chipmunk, I want you to marry Kimberly Reese because she has pretty teeth. That was all ad lib.
Really? Oh my goodness. So out of all of the amazing guests that graced A Different World, which guests did you really lean into for their wisdom?
Lena Horne.
Okay. So what did she leave you with?
When she walked in, she kind of like floated, and she was so humble. I was like, oh my God, this beautiful goddess is just humble. And she talks, with that Southern twang. And she just embraced us and told us that she loved us and she was proud of what we were doing. And, she was told me, she said, I love your chocolate skin. And I said, I love your vanilla skin. Just beautiful. She was just so graceful and so beautiful. She was the ultimate. I didn't think I would act that way until she walked in. Wow. And I was fanning out.
I was going to ask, you fanned out? Yeah. I probably would have fanned out too.
Man.
I'm glad to hear that. I love it when people do things in the dark and they don't expect any type of fame or glory for it.
Right.
Has there been a fellow actor who has done something for you in the dark and never expected anything in return?
Yes, and that is my princess. That's Jasmine Guy.
Wow. What did she do in the dark?
In the dark. See, people don't know. Jasmine fought for us on A Different World. When things we never knew about it, but she went in and fought for money wise, fought for everything for us. She didn't have to do that, and she fought hard for us, and she took care of it. I mean, I just love her. People don't understand how incredible that woman is. She's incredible. She's one of my dear friends, my family. And she just took me under her wing. Didn't know me from Adam,
I think I missed a portion of it. You said that she was fighting for you. Was she fighting for like salaries?
Yeah, for everybody. Yeah.
So were you not paid well on the show?
Not like Cheers, and not like, of course not. That's not even a secret.
Mm-hmm.
No. Like I said, they didn't expect us to be successful. So they didn't have a plan for us at all until Debbie Allen came in. And they were like, wait a minute. When she came in, things shifted.
Right.
And they were like, oh, shoot, this is not going to end. And it kept going. Yeah.
So are you still receiving residuals?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice. So another cast member who is still ringing bells in this day and age is Jada Pinkett Smith.
Yes.
Now, we all know about the entanglement
Yeah.
and her husband, Will Smith.
Yeah.
Now, if you were Jada Pinkett Smith on the night of the Oscars and your husband was about to walk on stage and do something that he would probably face a lot of public backlash, would you have stopped your husband?
Yeah, but the thing is, we always say that if I was Jada, I'd probably do what Jada did. But if I had my own husband and I was there, I would have stopped him. But then again, if I had my own husband, he wouldn't have gone up there in the first place.
Do you still keep in touch with all of the cast members from A Different World?
Yeah, because we tour a lot of the Black colleges. And so everybody's getting really busy. And so I talk to Jazz, I talk to Creep, every once in a while. I talk to Daryl. We do. We all, when we have time, we just check in. We do a wellness check.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I think that's so important in this day and age. Before I got on to this conversation, I said, okay, let me do a mental Rolodex of who I need to check in with. Because there are so many individuals within the last, I would say, 3 or 4 years where I spoke to on a Monday and they were no longer here on a Tuesday.
Isn't that something? Check in.
Just check in. Something so simple. But Bill Cosby, he was the show's creator. It was a spinoff from the Cosby Show. What are your thoughts over the allegations that have been made against Bill Cosby over the years?
And so it's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. I don't think there's any winners in it. But one thing I can say is everybody has to separate the entertainer from the human. And they seem to mesh it together. He did great work on TV. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have A Different World. On the other hand, on his personal side, he got caught. It's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate and sad. But you cannot negate the fact that he is an incredible entertainer and he helped a lot of people. I know I got in trouble with one interviewer. And it went because I just got mad. And they were like, "Oh, Bill," I was like, "Listen, all of these Black colleges, I think it was one college that denounced him." I said, "Well, why don't they give him back his money?"
They ain't gonna denounce
him. You take down his plaques, give him back his check.
Right.
Let's separate the two. Let's separate the two. What he did was wrong. We cannot say, "Oh, he didn't." It was wrong what he did. I don't care whether it was from one person. But on the other end, as an entertainer, he's still great. And I appreciate him.
I get it. Do you think you would have a different perspective had you not worked under Bill Cosby and maybe your perspective is framed under the umbrella of loyalty?
No, I have no loyalty to Bill because he was never on the set. He came one time in 6 years.
Really?
Yeah.
And and correct me if I'm wrong. That one time that he came on set, I think he said we have a token Darkie or something.
Yeah. I forgot about that. Oh, he says, I did a People magazine article, and People magazine being like, they misconstrued and dark skin. There was a whole thing about the dark, which I don't understand. There's a lot of dark skinned people before me. I don't get it.
Okay.
So you know what I mean? So I'm not gonna be a token child. So so when I walked in and he came in, I was like, this is the first time Bill has ever gone on the set. And he said, "Here comes the token dark one." And out of my mouth, I said, "F you." And
really?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So what happened after that? This is so funny. What happened after that? Someone summons me and said, "Bill needs to see you." I'm like, "Oh, I'm fired." I said, "Well, maybe I can still go to Africa for therapy." Maybe they'll have me back. So he was doing Ghost Dad at the time. And they took me a car sent for me during our rehearsals, and and everybody was looking at me like, "Farewell, Charlie." I was like, "What?" So when I got there, he was really wonderful. He said, how is it on the set? I'm like, "It's really cool. Bill is good." And he said, "How's Debbie?" I said, "She's wonderful. I'm really having a good time." I said, "I want to thank you very much. I'm learning a lot." And I'm thinking, and someone said, "He didn't do anything." I think because I knew who I was. I always go back to that. And so you're not going to handle me.
Right.
Because once you talk to me, it's like, you know, in 15 minutes about what that person is and who and what they're capable of. 15 minutes of people listen. I listened to him for 15 minutes. He listened to me for 15 minutes, and we were fine. And we had a little salad together, and I went back.
Right. Look at you. I love to hear stories of people actually standing in their truth, no matter who they are speaking to. Because a lot of people would have been intimidated. Like, oh my gosh, that's Mr. Bill Cosby. You know, he gave me this opportunity.
He's a human being.
Been someone else.
He's a human being that has a gig. He has a job. I tell everybody, I'm just like you. I just have a different job. My job description is just different.
True. So the strength that you have exuded all of these years, you've attributed to your mom. Is that correct?
My dad. My mom and my dad.
I mean, your dad. Your mom recently transitioned. Has it been a year or two?
A year now. Yes, she's been gone a year. I miss her so much. That was my best friend. That was my buddy. I called her Duchess.
How do you keep her memory alive?
She's, you know, something, you know, our souls never die. So everywhere I go, she's with me. I feel her. I just feel her everywhere, you know. Yeah. And I always say, put me. Come on, God. If something doesn't go right, I'm like, come on, Duchess, you're up there.
Yeah.
Go to him directly. Yeah, but yeah, she's in a better place. So my mom was a minister. So I'm a PK.
Nice. We have similar backgrounds. I come from a church family. My mom, deaconess. My dad, he's ordained. My mom recently transitioned. It's approaching 2 years. I really wanted to ask you, because people who have suffered an extreme loss, oftentimes we rely upon each other. Like, how are you getting through this? Because it's helping me and it may help someone else. So I'm glad that you mentioned that your mother's spirit is still alive.
It's still there. My mom, the soul never dies. The body is gone, but they're still here.
Yeah. And there's also something that you said while I was praying for this conversation. You said, when you're in the valley, God will always give you lilies.
He always, doesn't he?
So when was the last time that God gave you your bouquet of lilies?
Well, he's still giving me lilies. You know what I mean? Yeah, he's still giving me lilies in the valley. He is still giving me lilies in the valley. I mean, it's not, being that I had to stop acting because I had to take care of my mom. And so she was my priority. And so I stopped everything. People thought that, I got tired of the industry. No, my industry was my mommy. And so I stopped everything. And focused on her. And so, and that was a lot of years. And she has Alzheimer's. And she passed away. And when she passed away, and I have to say this, I don't know why I'm going to say this to somebody. When she passed away, you know, when you have an elephant and they're chained up to a pole, and if that elephant stayed there for about a year or so, you take the chain away, the elephant doesn't move because they're conditioned to stay by that pole. And so what I'm doing is I'm working now on the elephant to walk away from that pole. And during the time that I was taking care of my mom, I wasn't taking care of me. And so when she passed away, and for the first time, I looked in the mirror and said, "Oh my God, what have I done? I had gained weight, my skin, because I wasn't, but she looked flawless because it was about her." And I tell people, caretakers, whatever you do, take care of yourself first.
Yeah.
I don't care what you have to do. Take care of yourself first. And then you're strong enough, to take care of them. And if they do, and when they do transition, you're not in a shape where you have to start all over again.
Yeah.
And so not only now that I have to work on this weight and all this stuff, I got to get back in, the business. It's a different head now, but it's exciting.
Yeah.
Exciting for me because it's like starting all over again in a sense. Yeah.
So what are some of the things that you are currently doing to start all over again and to do some self-love on yourself? What are you doing?
Well, my work is I know I had a friend of mine who told me that my mom, when she passed her blessings on to me. And I feel that. And so what I'm doing is I'm going where God tells me to go. Like I have an acting school here. Who knew that I'd be acting? And that, a teacher. Ah, God, who knew? But my actors are working. They're really wonderful. They're doing a lot of wonderful things. And also too, I have a movie that my business partner and I, Andre Petrie, called Changes on Tubi. That is on there now. And also too, it's amazing. I have a series called the Bayou Chronicles. All I can say is be careful what you ask for.
I'm a firm believer in that. And I'm glad that you mentioned those projects because, like you said, social media said that you weren't working. You said you're James Brown daughter.
I don't even know. No, I'm gay. I'm somewhere with a stud. I'm not working. And so I'm working. I'm directing. I have a residency at the Encore Theater in Alabama. And also too, right now we're doing a play called The Black Man. Why Black men do what they do. And my business partner, Andre Petrie, created it for Black men because as women, we have everything. I can call up, I can call anybody, but they don't have it. And I love that, he was passionate about it to do it. And we did it for the first week and it was phenomenal because we had a Q&A afterwards. And the men were so, I was boohooing. Just to see a man, it just break and be vulnerable to me is strength.
Yeah.
It's strength to me, and he came up with this concept to honor our Black men. And the bottom line is, where do Black men come from? Where do they come from?
I say God and everything.
After God, who
the mother, the woman.
Exactly. Yeah. So why are Black women tripping? And say we're the only race that says we don't need a man.
Because we've been conditioned to believe that, even though it isn't true.
The Woman Lynch letter.
I need me, my Black man.
Thank you. I need them. And I'm happy to need them.
Yeah.
But we wanted to show women, listen to them. They're hurting. They don't go through what we go through. I think it's systemic racism, where the Willie Lynch letter, where we did slavery and we got out of that. Then it was a redlining with not getting us opportunities to buy property. We got over that. Then they put drugs in our community. We kind of got over that. We got over that. And now they're like, what else can we do? Let's pit the Black man against the Black woman. It's all in the Willie Lynch letter. I teach it with my students. It's all there. They had a blueprint for us since the day we were born.
Yeah.
I just wish everybody, like I said, you have Google. Nobody should be dumb.
Yeah,
Google it.
Yeah,
and figure out what this man set up for us back in the 1900s. And it's still happening today.
Still happening. That takes a lot of strength in order to create something specifically for Black men, especially when we live in an era where toxic masculinity is kind of, leading the narrative of who Black men truly are, even though that's true.
Yeah.
So the public, and it's in Houston, Texas.
Houston, Texas, at the Match Theater. Yeah, in Houston, Texas.
So the public has received this play very well.
Yes, but because what I love about it is they didn't expect it. They didn't expect the way that we presented it, which I love. Because it's really, I play the therapist, and he plays 7 different characters.
Really?
And my perspective for a woman, I live in a bubble because my husband's an engineer. I'm a therapist. Life's good. But then after I deal with these 7 men, I realize, wait a minute. I've been like this, a blinder, as opposed to realizing what our Black men are going through.
Yeah.
And so, I have to check up on my husband to find out that I'm doing okay. Are you all right? Yeah.
So your character in the play, like you said, you're a therapist meeting with 7 different men. What is one issue that you explore with one of the Black men that should teach the audience something?
They're all teachable. I can tell you one. I just tell you one. We have the businessman, and he grew up and once again was tortured as a child, with his brothers and stuff like that. And so he grew up and said that he would be wonderful. But what's happening is he has a white wife because he's up in that ceiling, and he doesn't feel that any Black women are up there as well. And so it's that type of thing where we delve into why they are the way they are. And it's from childhood.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, everything is from childhood because kids don't pop out and all of a sudden know. It's a learned behavior.
Yeah, it is. It is. I remember years ago when my daughter was just a baby, anytime I saw a woman with a Black boy, a child, I would just walk over and say, well, I had to know them. You just you can't approach anybody on the street. But I would encourage my friends, please raise him responsibly. Yes. Because I hope that you understand the magnitude of the responsibility of raising a Black boy and turning him into a Black man.
And
when I knew I was pregnant, I asked God, I said, please don't give me a boy.
Did you get a boy?
No, he answered my prayer.
He answered your prayers.
Because he knew that boy would have been confused, wearing pink. He would have been pissing, sitting down.
And that's okay too. If he wants to wear pink, it's okay. I mean, it's okay to wear pink.
But I'm glad that once again, you are part of this play, The Black Man, in Houston, Texas. How can people purchase tickets?
Oh, actually, they can go on. Oh, I have it right here.
Yes.
Okay. They can call. And the number is 713-521-4533. That's 713-521-4533, and get their tickets.
Nice.
And we're encouraging men. Usually, there's a lot of women. We want men to come out. And bring your wives. I mean, men to come out because we're letting you know that we know. Mm-hmm. We know what you're going through. We got you. Yeah. And
that's something that they need to hear because I think that Black men think that we no longer have their backs, and that's not true. So this is a testimony that no matter what you've heard, Black men, we are still here.
We love you.
So are there any goals of bringing the Black man to other states?
Yes. Actually, Vegas. We're going to be coming to Vegas, and I think we're going to be coming to Atlanta, and a lot of places, which is really weird because we're everywhere. I didn't realize. We're like everywhere, and so the Midwest has been really requesting. I'm like, there's Black people like in the Midwest, but
we're sprinkled here and there.
We're sprinkled everywhere, and so we'll probably be going to the Midwest as well. Yeah.
Nice. So, just two final questions. Also, while preparing for this conversation, I read that before you got the role of Kimberly Reese on A Different World, your elders and your grandmother used to pray for you.
Yes.
Once you landed the role, your grandmother said, now I need you to pray for yourself.
For yourself. You're on your own.
What is Charnelle Brown currently praying for?
I pray for strength. I pray for understanding. I don't want to pay for patience because he'll give me something to be patient about.
Ooh.
So I don't pray for patience. That I can't stomach that. But basically, when I do pray now, I just thank him. I just thank him for where I am. I thank him for where I'm going to go. Because I just thank him. I thank him for his, his kindness, his mercy, his grace. His covenant with me.
Yeah.
I just thank him. Yeah.
I love it. How can my audience continue to follow you? Because like you've mentioned throughout this conversation, you are working. You are not.
I've always worked. I was taking my mom, Lily in the Valley. I had an acting school. I always worked. Yeah.
You got it. So how can they follow you? What's your social media handle?
I don't know.
You know. By the way, your social media, why did you take down all your pictures?
I took down what pictures?
On your social media, I think there's only one picture there. I think it was either yesterday or today. Check, because that's how Instagram kind of shadow bans. Oh. When people go to your page, the content isn't there. So it was either yesterday or today. The only thing that was on your Instagram page was the flyer for the Black Man. Everything else was gone.
Oh, I have to check that because I know that I have I think it's on Instagram is B Charnelle. I have 2 of them.
Okay.
B Charnelle, and then Try One Productions for Instagram, and then Facebook. Just put my name in because I have like 4 accounts. I don't know how I got them, but I have them.
Got it.
Yeah. I always tell people so weird. I mean, you know how to find me. Google me.
True.
I don't know. I don't know my. I'm gonna be honest. I don't have time to be. I don't the handles, which I really need to do. I'm showing my age now. I'm like, I don't feel like it, but I really must because my business partner tells me, man, you have to really.
Yeah, that is a beast.
It's important.
Yeah,
it's so important. I know.
It's become so important. It's become a part of my daily routine. I don't.
It's smart.
But I know it is a necessary evil.
It's a necessary evil. So I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna do it. But I did know BHR now. I'm very proud of myself.
Good. So your acting school, how can people join your acting school?
Well, actually, they can join by contacting me with my email. And that's trywinproductions22@yahoo.com. That's TRIWEN Productions with an S 22@yahoo.com. And our saying is, when you try, you win. That's our production company.
Yes. Well, Charnelle, thank you so much. Every time I call your name, I am so tempted to call you Kimberly Reese.
But that's a good thing. That means I did my job.
It is. Like I said, this has been an honor and a true blessing. As we were talking, my daughter walked through the door.
Yes.
She walked through the door. So every time I'm having conversations with individuals like you, I really sit down and I share this information with her because that's my responsibility.
Yes.
To the next generation. So
isn't that beautiful? And I know that your daughter is extremely beautiful because you are.
Oh.
And that's the difference. And so I'm so excited to see what she's going to do in life. Yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited.
Thank you so much for your words of encouragement, your energy, your warmth, your love. Continued blessings, Queens.
Thank you so much, Queen. Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye. Oh my gosh. So, conversation with Charnelle Brown, aka Kimberly Reese. I'm so serious. I've been tempted to call her Kimberly Reese the entire conversation, but I said that won't be a good look for you, Sanya. That won't be a good look at all. So make sure that you subscribe to Sanya On-Air, which streams across just about every major streaming platform. If you are an aspiring actor or if you are a seasoned actor wanting to leverage and strengthen your skills, make sure that you email her. Direct link to this celebrity, Charnelle Brown. She provided her personal email for you to join her acting class. Take advantage of it. Like she said, we live in a space and era where it's like the microwave age. People don't want to work anymore. They just want things handed over to them. And that's not how longevity lasts. Charnelle Brown, aka Kimberly Reese, she's still in the game because she had formal training in the beginning before she landed on a different world. So now she's able to impart that knowledge onto other people who aspire to be exactly where she is. So Sanya On-Air not only unpacks celebrities' pivotal moments and their milestones, but we're giving you tools, we're giving you resources so that you can be successful too. Take advantage of it. Once again, make sure that you subscribe to Sanya On-Air and tune in every single week for an amazing celebrity conversation. I appreciate you so much for tuning in. Smooches, dolls. Take care.